Hi everyone, this is Francesca from Social Work Portal, and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to walk through how to conduct a social work assessment. Whether you're a case manager at a nonprofit, a behavioral health professional, or someone who works with social services, you should find this video helpful. I'll show you exactly how the social work assessment process works, what questions you should be asking, what to include in a comprehensive client assessment, and how technology can actually make your job easier. So let's get started. A social work assessment, also known as a client assessment or intake assessment, is a structured process that helps you understand the whole person you're about to assist, not just the single problem that brought them to your door. When a client sits across from you, they may be there because of a housing instability, for example. But as you dig deeper through a comprehensive client assessment, you may often discover interconnected challenges, untreated medical health conditions, limited family support, or transportation barriers that prevent them from keeping steady work. The social work assessment process is the map for everything that comes afterwards: your service plan, your documentation, referrals, and ultimately your client outcomes. If the assessment is incomplete, you could miss important steps. That's why getting this right matters so much. Let's look at why it's so important to get your social work assessment form right. Let me share a quick story. This was a driver for a nonprofit organization to finally put a standardized assessment template in place. Two clients with nearly identical presenting needs ended up with completely different service plans. One got what they needed, and the other one came up short. Why was that? Simply because different staff members had done the intakes, and they both asked different questions. There was no standardized assessment. Both clients initially came in for assistance with emergency housing, but one client got connected to employment resources and behavioral health referrals in addition to the emergency housing, a plan that would help them in the long term. The other one only got the emergency housing, but no support after that. That's the real cost of an inconsistent social work assessment process. It's not just about the documentation, it's about the equity and outcomes for the people you serve. The good news is that a structured social work assessment process solves this. So what makes up a good social work assessment? Let's start with the overall structure. Now, the specific data you collect on your social work assessment forms will depend on your organization's programs, services, and reporting needs. Some of the common areas when first assessing a new client include contact and demographic information, presenting concerns, physical and behavioral health factors, housing and employment status, financial stability, family and support systems, strengths and protective factors, risks and security concerns, and client goals and priorities. Let's take a quick look at a social work assessment in a top case management system so you get an idea of what it looks like. Here we are in our Case Management Hub software. This is one of the top case management systems because of the simplicity and the reporting power it has with its assessment forms. This is one of the built-in templates, the Social Work Initial Assessment. You'll see some of that standard contact information, followed by some demographic details. Then the form gets into some of the presenting issues. Let me show you one of the cool things about using a standardized template like this. Because it's a digital form, you can easily keep up with those that are pending, meaning you've sent them to the client, but they haven't submitted them yet, and which ones were completed. You can also do things like automatically populate the client record from the assessment form, which saves your staff tons of time. One of the most common questions that newer professionals ask is, what exactly should I be asking during a social work assessment? Let's talk about that. The single most important principle is use open-ended questions. Questions that begin with what, how, or tell me about generate so much more useful information than just yes or no formats. For example, are you experiencing any housing instability? That gives you a yes or no. Now compare that to, what is your current living situation and how stable does it feel right now? That opens a conversation that might reveal shared housing, an abusive relationship, or an eviction notice the client hasn't yet mentioned. I especially love the strengths-based questions. What strengths have helped you manage difficult situations in the past? This one does double duty. It builds rapport and it helps you identify real protective factors you can lean into in your service plan. And always ask about barriers. What's preventing you from reaching your goals? This is a question that often surfaces the most critical information. For example, transportation gaps, childcare needs, fear of judgment from service providers, and more. Now, if you'd like a copy of all these questions, just check the article link in the description. You'll find all those listed, plus a lot more information about social work assessments. Okay, now let's get into the 9 steps of the social work assessment process. This is a repeatable framework that you can use whether you're in a behavioral health setting, a housing program, a nonprofit, a child welfare organization, or another social services setting. Step 1 can be often overlooked. Prepare before you walk into the room. Review any referral information or prior records. Walking in prepared signals professionalism and saves you time. Step 2, building rapport. This can be one of the most important steps. A client who doesn't trust you will give you surface-level answers only. Take a few minutes to establish a connection. Ask them how they're doing. Let them know the assessment is about helping them, not about judging them. Steps 3 through 6 are where the real assessment work happens. Gathering background details. Identifying their needs and strengths. Evaluating risks and safety concerns. And defining goals together. Now notice in step 4, we're not just looking for problems. A strengths-based approach identifies what the client already has working in their favor. Steps 7 and 8, documenting your findings, and developing a service plan, is where the assessment becomes actions. And step 9, reassessment. This is one that many organizations overlook. Client circumstances evolve, and your services need to evolve with them. You won't know unless you reassess them regularly. Once you put these 9 steps together into a repeatable process, it can reduce the time it takes for your team to get through an assessment and service plan, and it can improve your client outcomes by ensuring they're consistent. So how do you implement that 9-step social work assessment process without it being a time-consuming burden on your staff? This is where technology can help. Most of the social services agencies I've spoken with are still running some kind of version in paper spreadsheet system. They'll use Excel sheets for this, or a Word document or Google Doc for that, but it's all disconnected. While it technically works, it creates a cascade of problems such as duplicate data entry, lost documentation, delayed reporting, and staff end up spending more time on administration than on clients. Also, trying to keep client information consistent across all those different spreadsheets and documents is nearly impossible, which we see often when we're helping them import their data into our case management hub software. So modern social work case management tools like the Case Management Hub system are designed to solve these problems. Digital assessment forms mean no paper scan or file. Integrated client records mean you enter information once and it's available everywhere. And built-in reporting means you're not manually pulling data every time a funder asks for program outcome. You can pull an up-to-date report anytime. When you're evaluating nonprofit or social services software, I'd encourage you to think about the total value, not just each individual feature. For example, an all-in-one case management platform that handles assessments, intake forms, scheduling, notes, goal tracking, messaging, and reporting will almost always provide more value than 5 or 6 disconnected tools that don't talk to each other. It's also usually more secure than having those individual spreadsheets and documents on people's systems. So now that you have the complete framework, what's your next step? Well, if you want to try a case management system that already has a built-in assessment that you can go in and easily edit, start a free trial with the Case Management Hub today. You don't need a credit card and there's no risk at all. You get 21 days and can invite up to 10 friends. Just visit casemanagementhub.org to start your free trial now. Thanks so much for hanging with me and watching my video. If you like this type of content and want to learn more about social services and nonprofit tools and resources, like this video and subscribe to our channel. You'll never miss one of our new exciting videos.